Hey guys, this is Rob. I'm back to do some more verse videos here. Tonight, me and Jory are looking at doing some more Mardu testing. I think he's going to be running some apps and aggro or Jeskai Black just to get a feel for some of the other mid-rangey type matchups. Mainly to see if we got to adjust the sideboard. Pretty much everything stayed the same. There's been a few adjustments in the sideboard so far just from my testing over the weekend. But we're going to give this a shot and see how it goes. Jory always wins the roll. Never fails. And for some reason my control M isn't working again. We're heavy on removal here, but hopefully we'll get there. That doesn't really help. Alright. Looks like he elected to play Jeskai Black. He's going in slightly blind, so hopefully this turns out alright. We really need to hit another land here though. Without that, he might just kind of run away with this game. Jeez, just all the Jaces. And that's not a land. So he's gonna get a Jace activation here. There's nothing much we can do about that. I think if we were playing a game 2 where I actually knew what I was up against, I probably would have been a little more hesitant to keep the opener. But on the blind like we were, it seemed alright. 2 lands, we're on the draw. We have a Fiery Impulse for early interaction. And a good suite of removal to just kind of bide our time till we actually get to the mid-late game. I'm going to go ahead and secure now, just because if we don't draw another land, we're going to end up having to discard. Go ahead and get that out there. He has no response, which isn't too surprising. Sure as shit. Alright, let's go ahead and get in there. It's getting a little more and more awkward as it progresses. Let's take a look. Wow, he had a triple Jace hand. Go ahead and he went ahead and upticked his Jace on our soldier. Seems fine. It looks like he stalled on lands here as well, so we can run this out without fear of an Ojutai's command. And I guess we're just praying to kill this Jace before he ultimates, as that's kind of his win condition right now. Well, that stings a little bit. However, might not be that bad. I'm not too sure about this. I assume he's probably digging for an Utter End to deal with the hanger back, and then he'll have flashback for it later to deal with whatever other threat becomes a problem for him. I mean, the hand seems decent if we're able to hit one more land. Even then, 2 more lands, and we might actually have a game of Magic going on here. Alright. So now we have to start being wary of Ojutai's command. Not sure how relevant it'll be as the game progresses, but at least we're able to keep his Jace in check. Zoom in. Come on, land. And we got there. Look at that, had it. Unfortunately, it's a polluted delta, so we can't grab an untapped red source. I think we just make sure we're able to actually cast the Smoldering Marsh. Or actually able to cast our Hordling Outburst here. And at least we're able to keep Jace in check for a little while here. We also have Murderous Cut if he goes ahead and plays a Tasigur. So the old 2-for-1 out of Kolaghan's command. We're left with a Thopter. It's gonna do relatively nothing for us. So he's missing almost as many land drops as we are. We have the option here of Kolaghan in command, his Jace, making him discard. Kind of plays into a Dispel. I'm not sure if the list he's on has Dispels or Negates main board. It seems like people have been making the choice, but we're going to go ahead and try to get a Hordling Outburst here. I imagine he doesn't have Radiant Flames after board, so this is probably our best bet. And he picks 2 of them off again. At this point, he's able to flash it back, force us to discard, and kill another one while upticking on 1. But he elects just to keep Ojutai's command up. We'll go ahead and ping him down and try to run out another Outburst here. Alright, so most of the card advantage he's generated is it's just been mitigated by having to pick off my tokens so far. Which is normally the case in the pre-sideboarded games against Jeskai. They just have so much spot removal that it's pretty minuscule against this deck game 1. The stuff we are worried about, Soulfires coming out and enabling him to start buying back stuff or gaining life and just walling around our tokens. At this point, I'm going to assume that he's not playing the Manus Rider list. So we'll start off swinging 3 at Jace here. Just going to go ahead and kill kill off another one. And now we will deal 2 discard. So we were right on waiting on that one. It's nice to have confirmation that you made the right play. We'll go ahead and end turn. As I said, the majority of his card advantage so far has just been so well mitigated that we may actually have a game, even though we have missed the majority of our land drops. I think after seeing the Dispel, we can rest assured that he's most likely playing those instead of negates. So I think we'll run out of Sorin here. He gives us the okay. Go ahead and give him an uptick. And swing for it, Jace. I think he's debating on using some more spot removal here. Still doesn't have anything to bring back with his Ojutai's command. And we will pass turn. So it's got to be all the Kolaghan's commands, right? It's not a 4 of, is it? I don't think so. Only time will tell, though. I'm not sure who had been kind of promoting this version of Jeskai Black. It's pretty much no Mantis Riders and just attempts to grind you out via 2-for-1s and early spot removal to buy time. This actually seems like it should be pretty favorable for us, but depending on how they line up, it can get more and more dangerous, I suppose. Looks like he's deciding to flash something back here. He's going to go ahead and fire Impulse a token. Wouldn't be surprised to see the 4th Jace coming down at this point, but who knows. So we have a couple of options here. We can uptick Sorin, swing at Jace, hopefully kill it, assuming he doesn't have another Kolaghan's Command or Crackling Doom or something to those regards. Or I can run out Gideon and start making some more tokens. And I think that's what we're going to elect to do here. Playing the P and Kieran is just kind of playing into the Ojutai's command. So we'll see if this resolves. My dilemma at this point is wondering if he's able to win through a Sorin emblem. I guess I don't have to ponder that anymore. I want to say the win conditions have to rely on Tasigur and Dragon Master Outcast. So it seems like a Sorin emblem would just turn both of those off. Oh, and we have a Sarkhan. Down goes our Gideon. At this point, we have him down to 3 cards. We're going to be able to put in some work here. Go ahead and get rid of this Sarkhan. And pass it back to him. Oh. Looks like he might be flooding out a little bit here. This was probably the wrong move. It's one thing I should just never do is never cast anything before activating your Planeswalker. It gives them a chance to respond and kill it before you actually have a chance to do anything with them. So my play might be getting a little loose here. Looks like he's gonna bring back his Jace. I'm assuming gain some life, but maybe just rather have the card. Let's see what we have to be afraid of. Probably activate Jace, flashback Utter End, get rid of our Sorin again. It's gonna leave us with the opening to be able to duress him during his end step. Take care of any roadblocks that may get in the way of Pia and Kira here, and just beat him down with tokens throughout the remainder. Hey, we had the option to kill the Jace before he activates it, but I feel like he's just kind of treading water here. So with Jace dying anyways, I don't know, it just kind of ends up being a 1-for-1 regardless. Go ahead and start inching our Sorin over to the exile pile. Alright. He's nothing if not predictable, I suppose. Alright, we're gonna take one here and duress him. Oh, Jory. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still sitting on a dig through time here that he wants to kind of pop off. She does. So now regardless of what he grabs, we're gonna be able to take the best one and still be able to play Pia and Kieran without any real fear. I'll actually be able to play Pia and then activate it. So, I don't know. Depending on whether or not he's able to clear up the board state after Pia is going to kind of determine the game. Like, we still have a pretty hefty life total to play around with here, but if he's able to clean these up, clean up the Pia, he's up quite a few cards. It may end up mattering, but I'm not sure how many tricks he could possibly have in this deck of his. Alright. He has made his decision. Well, looks like we get an Ojitize command, which we will take. Then we'll just leave this over here so we know what we're up against. Untap, take a draw. That seems pretty solid. Our land's looking a little prettier here. Run out Pia. Make our Topters. And then we will swing 2 at Jace and 1 at his face. Down goes Jace. We'll run out our hanger back on 1. And we are officially hellbent. So, I mean, all in all, I think I navigated this game pretty well. And like I said, the spot removal just doesn't line up very well against these token-esque strategies. So here comes the Soulfire. Guess we can go ahead and hide that. I think he played his Mountain. He did. Stepping quite a bit to play this Tasigur, meaning he's... Oh no, he's buying back. So he must have drawn something decent here. Sure. I'm assuming the P is going down. And it does. Now he has the option to fetch and run out his Tasigur while having this Impulse on demand when he wants it now. And we're in kind of a race scenario. Except we're left with Thopters and he's left with an Impulse. Possible top decks here. A Crackling Doom, a Fiery Impulse, a Mardu Charm, Gideon Soren, just about any sort of action will allow us to keep the pressure on and keep him kind of under the gun to keep coming up with these answers. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Go ahead and fetch that away. Hopefully thin out the deck a little bit here. Grab our Smoldering Marsh. Just doing a little bit of combat math here. I'm not sure we're actually in a position to race him. But the thought of him just buying back Fiery Impulse and picking apart our board the rest of the game doesn't sound incredibly appealing. We do have him in a position where he's stuck making the choice of activating Tasigur or buying back with Soulfire. I guess we'll just swing two at his face, leave the rest of this stuff up, and just kind of see if we're able to draw some action. Looks like he's in kind of the same boat. This does enable him to activate Tasigur and buy back Impulse in a turn. Not sure what we really want to give him back. Okay. So he wants to see what he has. I was wrong. He is playing Vanis Riders. He's going to activate Tasigur. I think we can give him the Doom. It seems like the least relevant at the moment. We just can't catch a break right now. Completely forgot to activate my hanger back as well. And then that might be the wiser move. Just assuming he Fire Impulses the Knight and then Crackling Dooms cleans up the hanger back as my 2/2. Looks like he's buying back his Fire Impulse here. And taking care of a token. And that's all we got for the turn. At this position, it may seem like he's somewhat favored here. I'm not entirely sure. I think any kind of Planeswalker would be incredibly helpful to our cause. He was asking me if I forgot the hanger pump as well, which I did, but I didn't admit to. Make him think we have a purpose. He's just generating too much value off this thing. Soulfires aren't very good at multiples, so we'll go ahead and give that back to him. Probably would have been better to just give him the Tasigur, but We'll let him have a Soulfire. He's gonna swing Tasigur. So we know he has a Crackling Doom. And he still has an Impulse. Whereas we can get the Impulse out of his hand by just throwing everything in front of this Tasigur, forcing him to use both his removal spells, and being left with less options to buy back. It doesn't seem... our life total is too high to start worrying about this now. Go ahead and spit out some more tokens. Seems like they're just fodder at this point, but... swing one up top. I'm gonna assume this is gonna meet the same fate as our last couple. Could have probably brought in my Knight and my Shambling Vents as well, but with the backup Soulfire, it seems like it's just gonna be a stalemate anyways. Oh, we really need some form of top deck here. A Drana would be nice, a Kolagon would be nice. He's just drawing cards and beating us down with this ridiculous amount of mana he has. And continues to take advantage of. We'll give him the Tasigur. This probably isn't the time to just throw everything in front of it. Especially as I just gave him back the other Tasigur. We'll go ahead and take the 4. Now we'll go ahead and add a counter. This is kind of what we were hoping for. I can't imagine he has negates here, but I still feel as if we should play around it. Respond to what? Oh, maybe responding to our hanger back uptick. Okay. So he just wants us to get one Thopter. Which means he probably drew the other Impulse. This does give us a pretty good opportunity now. Oh, and he bought it back as well. So we'll go ahead and play the Sorin. We're going to have to leave at least 2 back to protect our Sorin. So I think we'll leave the Shambling Vent and just bring in the tokens. He does have another Soulfire, so trading this one off with a Goblin isn't the end of the world for him. And we have gained all the life back that Tasigur has taken from us. Oh, does he want to redirect it? No? That's a little bold. Now he does have a Fiery Impulse. So most likely our Shambling Vents is just going to meet with its end here. I'm half tempted to just leave it back. He's going to gain 2 on a crack. Gain 2 on the Impulse, but I mean it will leave him tapped out. So I think that's what we'll go ahead and do. Yep. He didn't buy it back. Not sure what that signifies. Maybe he just wants to get another Tasigur activation. We know his hand consists of 1 Soulfire and 1 Tasigur. I think he used the Crackling Doom and the Impulse at this point. Plays the second Tasigur. He probably delves away some of this stuff he isn't really fond of. However, he's going to be stuck with this other Tasker in there regardless. So one of his activations is just going to be dead. He'll be able to keep cycling these Tassigers as long as I want him to, but man, this game is going to be a grind. One thing I do know for sure is it will be over in 17 turns. Alright, so a Kolagon off the top would be splendid. However, we get an Impulse. Go ahead and swing one up top. And end turn. Sure. Well, I think we have to go for it now. I'm assuming he's got to have his other Dispel. And we're able to pick that off, and then, I guess we'll take the 4. I think his main problem is every time he activates his Tasker, he's going 2 cards into the tank, and he's just really can't afford to right now. Unfortunately, we don't have our Shambling Vent or our Knight to protect Drana from the Crackling Doom. Oh. That's kind of ugly. I'm sure he's been sitting on that for a while. I presume he gets his Jace back, and then he flashes back Kolagon's command, gets his Mantis Rider back, and tries to put us on some sort of clock. Any form of gas here would be nice. That's not really what we were hoping for. Alright. So he's gonna bring them all. Just in case he's got a removal spell, I guess we'll just throw all of them in front of that Soulfire. Take 5. Gonna lose 2. I'm really not too sure about what we can draw to get us out of this predicament. 2 Crackling Dooms. I gotta assume he's out of Utterends and Kolagon commands. But I don't think they're running 4 Ojitais either. So we're probably safe from Ojitais, but I can't imagine he's not sitting on a Crackling Doom at this point. And it's going to be pretty irrelevant as this continues to just kind of give us more and more mana. Yeah. Sure. So now he swings 9, Wild Slashes me again, and it's game. So we'll go ahead and go to game 2 here.